Hey, what's up? I'm HypeHype. I play games, make games, and everything in between. And today we are in HypeHype, and I'm gonna be messing around with the spawner node. The next level game jam just ended today, and I was working until like 9 or 10 trying to get my racing game taken care of to submit it, and I think it came out great. I'll show that right now. And yeah, I've been working on a bunch of different games and levels over this week, but I'm able to notice my strengths. Like I'm gotten really familiar with the Switch node, but when it came to getting clouds to spawn in my Super Meat Boy game levels, it was kind of difficult for me. And so, yeah, I want to improve. But there's a saying, and it's something like if you want to be a master at something, you got to be okay with looking foolish. Or I don't actually know how that saying goes, but basically I don't know the spawning node as well as I think I should, and I think that has to do with the certain elements in the node that you want to be able to spawn on this location or spawn shooting in a certain direction and that kind of stuff. I don't know. I kind of just hope that the spawn node just randomly works the way I want it to, and it doesn't do that. So let me find, I am updating, there we go, the YouTube thumbnail talking about the spawn node. And oh, you know what, let's go ahead, what's TikTok, and do a TikTok live. Hopefully my internet is better today than it was yesterday, but we never know. Making we'll call this spawn node, playing with the spawn node and hype. Oh, okay. HypeHype is the app we are using to make games. And oops, go to Procreate. I made a cool little thumbnail, because you gotta make thumbnails. People like thumbnails. Save 5 images. Okay, we don't want to save 5 images. This is Procreate. It's a great app. I use it for a lot of different things, but also really good for drawing. Save image, go up here, there's HypeHype, and let's change this. Select from library, this one. Yeah, that looks good enough. And let's go live onto the TikTok. Hit these buttons, and cool. Okay. So where were we? So yeah, in the Super Meat Boy game that I was working on, there's clouds over here, and let's turn the logic on, and this object is spawning this cloud, and this cloud shoots in the left direction. And oops, I was able to more or less get it to work. My game dev strategy when making games is to just try everything until something works the way I want it to, and then when it does work, remember it, so that your bitrate is out of recommendation for Twitch. Okay, so I'll have to change that later. So yeah, that's how I approach game development. I just keep at it, look at it, things different ways, and Yeah, so here I have this object which is moving back and forth. I have a wave generator set up with a transform, and again, this is just to have the object move, so it's like a multiple component, and I think this is how I need to be looking at spawning objects, right? You have this piece where this is the force. Where is the spawner? It's probably in here. Okay, so we have the spawner. We have the object that we want to spawn, which is this ball. And then you can do stuff to the object in terms of how you want it to spawn. So right now, you can see that there's multiple arrows. Hey, what's up, Killy? Welcome to the stream. Today I'm just messing around with the spawner node, and yeah, I've used the spawner node multiple times, but honestly, when I have used it, I kind of just go into other hypes and copy what somebody else has, which is kind of like a cheat shortcut to learn, try to figure out how things work. Yo, what's up, Matt? I'm back at it again. Yeah, I'm trying to, month of May, we'll see how the internet is, because it was really bad yesterday, and I don't like the stream cutting off, but you got to do with what you got to do. And so today I am just messing with the spawner node in HypeHype because yeah, I'm not an expert at it. Like there's so many nodes in HypeHype. Okay, we got the button nodes, which are red trigger. We got the logic nodes. This is like, if you know coding. I am not a coder. I can do basic like if then statements and simple stuff. I mean, I used to be able to do basic coding in Lua, but that was 5 years ago, and I think you basically forget how to do things if you don't practice it every day. Kind of like learning a language. So we got the logic nodes, the 2 to 4 decoder. I got kind of an understanding, and like the cool thing is you can click on these nodes. You can select the question mark and it will take you to the wiki.hypehype, which is great. Lots of resources. I mean, that's how you know a good game engine is a good engine, when they have documentation. I used to make games with a software that it just had no documentation, and or the documentation it had was old, which is fine, because you can't always have good documentation. And when you learn how to make games with poor documentation, when you get good documentation and video tutorials, you're just like, whoa. My favorite example is like learning how to drive. What's up, joystick? When I first learned how to drive, and it's ironic because I don't drive now. I'm kind of I just don't like to drive. I've been in motorcycle accidents that I could not walk away from. So I have like a little bit of PTSD. I just don't like to drive. But when I was learning to drive, I learned how to drive on a crappy manual. It was so bad. It wasn't bad. No, but anyways, when you learn how to drive on a bad manual, I had a friend and he had a really nice Audi in San Francisco, and he left it at a club and I had to go pick it up the next day. And I hadn't driven a manual in like 5 years, but it was a really nice Audi. So it just changed gears like no problem. And like, you learn how to make stuff in a kind of crappy environment because that's your only environment to like gotta drive. It was a hatchback from the mid 90s, 90s. It was cool. I mean, it was cool. But do you use Unity? Hey, what's up, joystick? I do not use Unity. I have used Unity and I have made some games in Unity, but it's a lot of work. So I make games on my phone, and so Joystick Studio is asking what engine do I use. I use an engine called HypeHype. We're in it right now. This is it. It's like a no coding app where you can make games on your phone, your tablet, even on your desktop browser. Yeah, Matt makes dope games, hyper casual games on with Unity, and yeah. So there's lots of ways to make games, and I think the trick when it comes to making games is one, try multiple things. Like don't try like Unity is the most popular. Although I would recommend if anybody likes to buy stocks, get Unity. It dropped to $33, which is kind of hurting my portfolio. But now's a good time to buy Unity stocks. How many hyper casual games have you? Or I don't know if you're talking to me or Matt. Matt's published a bunch. I have published maybe a dozen or so hyper casual games, but I did not renew my app store developer thing. I don't even know what they call it, but like my developer license, because I'm making games with HypeHype now, which to me is more fun because I can just focus on making games. Bunch over 25. Nice. And Matt, how many that's over like a couple of years, and you make it with you, I want to say you and your brother or your buddy. Yeah, if you can get a team, if you find somebody you work with, that's huge, man. I can't even have a conversation with my twin. He is just too difficult at times, but family is family. Yes, I am messing around with this spawner node. So right now, and I noticed something interesting so right now this cube, and I'm using a green cube because I think it stands out, has no physics, and it's basically just causing the location of the object to spawn. What's up, everybody on TikTok? I'm also live on YouTube, so feel free to check me out whatever you want. Okay, so this object, and we can see here this green arrow is going to this ball. But what I found interesting that it is if I make this ball smaller, so here we have the rotation. I'm sorry, this is the movement. This is the rotation. I like it because you can do this. And then this one is the scale. So if I make this smaller, the slowest we can go is 0.25 by 0.25. Oh wait, so it's shooting. Okay, it's shooting to the left. Let's go into the cube and check out some of these features. Vector transform. Is the object static? There is no physics, so let's go ahead, add physics to it, and then move it to kinematic. All right, I'm trying to get this to move. How much Masood Ramen, apologize if I butcher the name, how much money have you made so far creating hyper casual games? So Matt is a better person to ask about that because he works with publishers when it comes to making games. I've only made hyper casual games and published them on the App Store by myself. I have tried to work with some publishers in the past, but this is gonna sound weird. I'm not in it for the money. I'm in it to just like make games. So yeah, I don't make money making games, and I have never had that be my focus. And the main reason is back when I used to have a regular job, I only had a job just so I could make money. And then I made a bunch of money, and then it just it wasn't for me. It wasn't my thing. If you were looking for HypeHype, you can get access to it on hypehype.com/get access. Fill out the form. Higher than average U.S. salary per my search. Higher average U.S. What is the average U.S. salary? It's I think it's something low. I only think it's low because I am used to living in San Francisco and New York City. And I remember when I was trying to get a job in New York City, they pay so much less than San Francisco. But that was a different time. It was like 5, 10 years ago. But now everybody's working remote and stuff. Okay, I'm trying to get this object to move and spin, and he's not doing it. Oh, maybe here. So the duration was set to 25 seconds. Okay. So now we got the object. It's spinning all over the place. Where is he going? And that's kind of cool. It's again, I'm just messing around here, trying to be. He's trying to, yeah, mess it. Oh, okay. So he's flying around. I think that's the wave generator. Let me turn these off. Yeah, if you're looking to make money with hyper casual games, Unity is a good platform to use. Again, I also recommend buying. I am not a financial advisor. I should say this, but Unity stock, is, I guess the whole stock market is pretty bad. I just looked at my portfolio. It's not doing great, but yeah, the world is going crazy now. We have had like what 13, 14 years of just the economy going up. I don't know. Not a financial advisor. I just say, learn, try to educate yourself, read books. Okay. We are moving this. Okay, so this is rotating it. So this is a vector transform node. My stocks are all getting, dude. Yeah, I don't even like looking at it. But dude, like Unity is at $33, man. I should have sold when it was at like 200. I should have done a lot of different things, but I'm just trying to like not look at the stock market and focus on this trend, like the spawner node. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna start from scratch. Let's delete this. Oops, nope, I just deleted a floorboard. And there's a lot of cool assets I created in the background. HypeHype has tons of free assets. Can we export games with this engine to other platforms like iOS? Beal, that is a great question. And unfortunately, this platform, HypeHype, is just too, it's just new. It's just too new. The people at HypeHype have kind of exported a game on their own called Badland Party, but stuff like that is too new, man. It's they're still trying to make everything work, and I think currently right now they're trying to develop multiplayer, and what I think is going to be super cool, multiplayer game developing. So if you and I wanted to work together in HypeHype to create a game, we could do that. When it comes to things like export for iOS and Android, no, Not today. So if that becomes a thing in the future, like, subscribe, follow me, I'll let you know because everybody asks for that. I just try to be real and let you know that if, like, don't expect that, because that's not their goal. Their goal right now is to make the app the best thing possible, not have export for iOS or Android. They may do something like that. I do not work, you know, on the HypeHype or team trying to figure out what's next for this. I just think when it comes to making games on your phone or tablet, HypeHype is the best. And I think when it comes to hyper casual games, yeah, you gotta do what you enjoy. And I have fun using this app to make games. And what was I'm trying to spawn this ball. Okay, so I needed like a basic cube. So as of today, no. Maybe eventually they'll do rev share with developers, kind of like Roblox. Yeah, the future is full of opportunities, and like, we never know what the future will bring. So I don't like to speculate. But yeah, like, they're gonna have to do something, because literally this is what everybody asks about, and they're gonna do something, but like, they're not there yet. Like, they need, like, million, like, anything, any app, whether Instagram or TikTok, the money comes when even hyper casual games, the money comes when you get millions of active users. Like, like, if you get millions of active users on any hyper casual game you put on the App Store or Play Store, you'll make a decent amount of money. And HypeHype is in early access. They're basically just kind of doing beta testing, trying to make everything better. Like, they're updating all the time. Like, when I first started using HypeHype, all these nodes, they were all the same color, and now they're color coded. Like, all things like this come in time. And now I don't know what HypeHype's plan is for release, for updating or releasing to the general public, because I'm sure once they release to the general public, they'll get millions of active users, and they'll have some kind of structure payment plan for their content creators. That could be 2 months, 6 months, 2 years. I don't know. All I know is I enjoy making games with HypeHype. And whenever they go to the market, I think people who want to make games will check it out. I hope to make this engine like Buildbox. I am not a fan of Buildbox. I would I literally have a video why I don't like them, and that's specific to how they update the software. And the company's goals just don't align with my goals. I think the software has a lot of potential in terms of like making games. I had used them for at least 5 years, and they never really made improvements to the software. So, and like, it's interesting because in my earlier example at the beginning of the stream, I'll look at Buildbox as like a poor example of a company that's trying, in terms of like, when I was learning to drive, it was like a bad, like, there was no manual, there was no, it was just a struggle, but I still learned how to drive, right? And when you, with HypeHype, they have documentation, they have videos, they have weekly live streams, they have a Discord channel that other people, like, they have all the things that make a great company and software work. And they're doing it day by day to figure it out. Whereas in some other companies, they're not about it. They're about one thing, and that's telling you what you want to hear so that they can get your money. And yeah, I'm not down with that. So I have my opinions, but I think it's important. And this is why I tell everybody, do your own research. Like, try all the game engines. Don't try one game engine and then like, oh, I like it. Like, HypeHype is user-generated content. Check out Core if you like making games on your computer. If you want to make like a Fortnite, check out Core. Check out, if you like playing games on your PlayStation, check out Sony Dreams. Like, check everything out. Like, that is my recommendation. Check everything out. Find what you like and then stick with that. Okay, let's spawn. Object to spawn. So we want to spawn this ball. This ball has a lot of stuff going on. Let's go ahead and delete everything. So we just got the ball, got the dynamic, and this is supposed to shoot up, but we're not activating the spawner. So to activate the spawner, let's go to the interval. And now the thing with HypeHype, again, they got documentation. If you don't know what something does, hit that question mark, and you can always copy objects from another game and then just paste it into your game. You can copy and paste everything. That's like the cool cheat sheet. But yeah, I'm just trying to mess with this more so that I can become more familiar with how everything works. Okay, so we're gonna have this interval loop, and when it loops, we're going to activate the spawner. It's going to execute. So let's see, this object is a static, which I don't even know. I think we don't need physics for this cube. So this cube has no physics. The interval is executing on start every 0.1 seconds. Spawn. So we got the execute enabled. It's okay. Look at that. It's shooting up, and the ball is gonna. There's gravity. Okay, so it's still shooting, which is kind of cool to see. Okay. Able for a person like me, use drag and drop engine like Construct 3 to make simple games. Yeah. So like, that's awesome. If you've checked out Construct 3, are you able to do 3D in Construct 3? I saw a video a couple of months ago. I know Construct was always great for 2D. Okay, let's go to vector transform. So I'm gonna go into this object. Now, the great thing with HypeHype, not only can you just move around with your fingers, zoom in, zoom out, and check out the whole world like nothing. You can take these pieces, vector transform, let's hit it, and it can be outside the object, it can be inside the object. There's endless ways to move things around in HypeHype, which does make it confusing, but it also makes it how do I say it? Like, you get to create the setup. So if it's confusing, it's because you created it to be confusing, and you can make it less confusing. And it also depends on how you set things up. So right now, this is a vector transform. We have one in this ball that's spawning, and we're gonna have it so when this ball is spawned, this vector transform is on start. we're gonna have the loop. And now when it comes to the vector transform, there's duration. Let's bring up this duration, movement, length, and time. So this is really important because sometimes when an object gets created, you want it to, let's say, move from point A to point B in 1 second or 2 seconds, or you want it to move from point A to point B and then keep moving. And if you want to keep it moving, then you want to set the duration to 0.5. No, I'm sorry. Oh, I just totally messed that up. If you want an object to keep moving forever, then you set the duration to 0. If you want it to move for a specific amount of time, then you set the duration to a specific amount of time. So let's set the duration to 1, and we'll just have an example like 3. Let's do 3, 3, 3. And so right now, and this is set to move, I'm going to do rotate so we can see how it looks while it rotates. And this is over 1 second. Okay. I don't see any rotation happening. Oh. Maybe we select here. Okay, let's go here, and now it's shooting. Let's try to shoot force. I wonder if 0.25, what does that do? Yeah, okay. Okay. It's, oh, you know why? Physical? No, dynamic. Okay, so that's good. Well, let's see if we can do move. Okay, so it's shooting that way. I'm gonna lower this. Let's divide it by 2. And again, we're just messing around, moving things around. And yeah. Okay, so if we go here, and let's get rid of the duration, make it 0. Okay. Let's see what scale does. Oh, it makes it bigger. Okay, we're gonna go. Oh. That was kind of cool. I'm trying to get the object to physically. Okay, so let's do move, and let's just try -1 in the X, so that'll be to the left, and then Y. I guess we can do 1, and then do -1. And duration for 1 second. Is that okay? Okay. Oh, you know what? And then I also want to go here and let's make the ball physical. We can change the physical material. This is really cool, bouncy. And you can have multiple physical materials, you know, in case you have like something heavy, the ground, bouncy, and then you can even go into here. I'm gonna hit bouncy, I'm gonna hit copy, and okay, so restitution is set to 95. This is what makes it super bouncy. Yeah, and then we can see it go up in the air. Like, that's cool. Now, notice how it's bouncing like this. Now, if we go in and we change this to bouncy copy, which has a restitution of 99, it's going to go extra super bouncy. Or it should, at least. Let's take a look. So this is like a lot more bouncy. And when it comes to spawning objects, in any game engine, at some point in time, if it just keeps spawning, you're gonna have like a system crash. So we're gonna add an interval. It has it after 10 seconds, the object disappears. So let's go into the object and we're gonna get it destroy. So on time, oops. Now we just drag and drop on time, destroy, execute. Let's see. Okay, so still live streaming on the TikTok. Okay, so after 10 seconds, they should disappear. All right, notice how they're disappearing. Now that doesn't look cool. So we go in here and we want to make it look cool. Like that's the fun part of making a game, is if you can make something that doesn't look cool, look cool. Let's go to transform. We go to scale and we want to scale it to 0. And let's go to wave generator. Wave generator and transform are great to use together. So I think we want start value to be 1 and end value to be 0. And on end value, we go to transform. We do a mount. Okay. And then on the transform, do execute. Okay, maybe not. Okay, so this is just happening instantly. So let's go turn off the execute and we want the interval and this should turn on the wave generator. Multiple ways to just jump around. So we got the balls falling and then they should get smaller and disappear. Yeah, there they go. And let's go ahead, change this interval to 5 seconds, and then we can mess with it. So here I'm just messing around with a bunch of nodes because I'm trying to get more familiar with it all. Yeah, and then once on loop end, we can destroy the object. And then this is the spawner. So the spawner has offset of x, y. So if I put -1, it'll do it to the left. And let's mess around with the random node. I like this one. Oops. Let's do -3 to +3. I think this is a good example. So we need something to turn this on as well. Because I sometimes have, well, maybe it just needs to be on. Let's just turn it on. And on random value, just drag this over here and we'll go to spawner offset X. And this will mean, okay, so right now it's spawning a little bit to the right. We can look at the debug tool. and it's at 0.412. So if I want this to happen every single time, and maybe I go here, and I hit random execute. Okay, so that worked. So now every time the spawn is spawning, there's also the X location is moving. And since that is working, I'm gonna actually have this spawn on the offset Y and on the offset Z. So I want to see what that looks like. Technically, the same amount of balls are still spawning. They're just doing it all over the place. So now let's do this to 2.5 and 0.25. And now I want to see if I can't use a joystick. We got the triggers, the logic, the action, the joints, visual. A lot of cool features here. Let's check this out. Okay. Let's grab the joystick. Okay, joystick, visible. It says X and Y, but we can also use it for the X and Z. So this is the X, up and down is the Y, and then back and forth is the Z. You just have to set it to Z instead of Y when setting it up. Joystick enabled. Enable dead zone. I'm gonna just put that on. I think that's when the joystick, like if you let go of it, it goes back to the middle or something. I'm not totally sure. Okay, so move axis X. And this is a... Okay, so the cube has no physics. Can we still move it if it has no physics? I don't know. Okay, move axis X. See what options come up. Visual. Okay, I think we do need to give it a physics. Being able to move it. So let's go unmovable object is usually what you want, a kinematic object. Kinematic, okay. Now we go to the joystick. Oh, make sure, okay, joystick, and then we got move X axis. We want the physical activation. Huh. I don't want to limit it. All right, so I'm not exactly sure. Again, we're just exploring, trying new things today. Let's see, we got characters. I'm just looking for a character that already has some simple movements. Lots of cool assets. Wait, pre-mades I think is what we want. Simple player touch, side scroller, that's close. Jump and bash, run and jump. Let's try this one. Okay, so we got a lot going on over here. And this is what we want. We want this one. Let's go to here, and the controllers are going to compare values. Okay, and this compare value is going to a 2 to 4 decoder, and then this is going to a rigged animation. Okay, let's undo this. Okay, I'm gonna save this, and I'm gonna go to a game I made before that has the movement I'm curious about, or at least how objects move. And again, you can look through any game that you made in the past or a game that someone else has made and use that as a reference. You know, when you're trying to learn something, or when you're trying to learn how to do something, having examples is a great way to just see what's going on. So here I have this character, the dynamic object, and these movements are set to vector transform. Okay, so I need to add a vector transform node in the object in order to move it, which makes sense now. Like, I can't move it if it doesn't have a node that allows it to move. And to me, this is just one of the things I need to do over and over again to help teach myself how to move. I do consider myself, I was never a good student, so I try to learn through repetition by doing it over and over again. So here we got vector transform. We're going to set the duration to 0, set to move. Set it to on start. Where's the joystick? Turn the logic on. There's a joystick. Move axis. Vector transform, vector X. I'm just gonna test it right now. Oh, look at that. All right, look, it's moving. This is amazing. And here we can actually limit the amount it can move, I think. Nope, actually it can go all the way over there. Oh wait, no, that's set over here. And that's the move magnitude. So if we want to move an object in the XY, it needs to have a node that allows the XY to move. Makes sense to me. I think before I was just hoping it works. This is how I do a lot of things. Actually, I think that's how a lot of people. Yeah, look at that. And you know what? We can even do a thing. So if I wanted this to also, so that vector transform, the first one is to move the XY. We could do this vector transform. We set it to 0, I believe, on start enabled, okay. And let's do rotate. And I want to try this. So the Y is the up down on the joystick. We select the second vector transform and we do vector Y. Okay, so we got the left and the right. But now we can... Okay, so notice how it's spinning left and right. So let's... Oh, and then there's a move angle. I'm curious about that one. So let's try here. Second one, vector transform. Let's try vector Z. And look, now it's going... spinning clockwise and counterclockwise. And then here we're going to do second vector transform, vector X. This should move it this way and that way. Yep, look at that. So now we can shoot. Oh. And it looks like some of the balls are just moving in the other direction. That's so cool. We can have it facing us. Now this is how I make games in HypeHype, bit by bit. Like if I can get a little bit of this to work, then get a little bit of something else to work. I mean, like this to me is fun. Now, if I could have these balls spin a little bit more. Okay, so there's a lot going on in these balls. I don't even remember doing all of this. So we got the wave generator. This is for the movement. And the interval is... Let's turn that off. Let's see how that looks. And are these balls have dynamic? Okay, so these balls have physical properties. Let's add some. Okay, so let's add some stuff that maybe we can shoot and knock down with these balls. So the first thing I want to do is limit this. No, limit the variable. Okay. I turned that off. That shouldn't. Yeah, okay, so now it's just back to the single shooting. And let's get some objects to knock over. Lots of cool assets in HypeHype. Okay, we got some blocks. Bunch of hair. Get this dude. He looks like a bad dude. Get him, I'll move him. And I really like this skull. I have a skull right here. This one's a lot cooler because it's got designs on it. This was made by a soft rock. And we call that skull Ed. So let's take this skull and we'll make it a dynamic skull. We can actually put it on top of this tower. Let's make it a red skull. Alright, zoom in. Okay. Dude's gonna have a dynamic physics And whenever I'm in the game, I'll hit the reset view and it'll take me back to my regular view, the view that you have with the camera that the player will see. Oh, you know what? Go ahead and make that an unmovable object. Maybe make it a little bit bigger. And I wonder if we can take this camera and do, let's, what are we at? Keep behind. Let's set that as the target. Oh, okay, so we don't want keep behind. We want maybe fixed. Let's see how that works. Trying to shoot. Got him. Got him. Okay, let's get the skull. Go up a little bit more. Up a little bit more. I think the skull's too high. All right, let's get some more objects to knock over. We can knock this over. Make it a dynamic object. And I can actually make this into a game if I wanted to. And reset view. Oh, let's get a bottle. To me, wine bottles are green. Give it a black top. Set the dynamic. Gotta use 2 fingers when moving around in 3D. What up, Ebenezer? Just messing around. Playing with spawning in HypeHype. How's your day going? A skateboard would be cool. Getting random objects to knock over. Ooh, sci-fi skyscraper. We gotta make this a lot smaller, but I actually really like this asset, and I think I might just go ahead and put it in some of my games. We gotta change the objects to dynamic, of course. And let's test it. Okay, aim, move it up. Let's knock over. Got the bottle. We got the dude. Let's knock over the building. Oh, I'm shooting down. Come on. Oh, down is up. And there we go. Come on. There we go. We knocked it down. Let's go knock over this one. Oh, can I get the head finally? The skull? Oh, crap. It looks like it's so close. Okay, I want to shoot this blue thing down. Maybe I can use the blue thing. I can. Let's see if I can't move the blue thing further back and then bound the balls. Okay. It looks like it's slowly moving. And we can look at the shadows. And now we shoot these up in the air. I want to knock that skull over. No. I wonder if I can use the Y to rotate. All right, let's grab some more objects to knock over. Got a backpack. A lot of cool objects. I like this. All right, so I'm gonna do this and then I'm gonna continue messing with the spawner node. I'm curious if I can set it up so that objects only spawn when I touch the screen, and if so, how would I do that? But first I want to knock over some pillars. Go here. And whenever you want to look at the XYZ, you select that button and we can see where we're at. That's all at 6. Z of -25. This is a great way to just line things up. And we need to also make sure that all these, all these objects are dynamic. Okay, now let's knock it over. Aim. Oh, slowly, it's happening. That was cool. Yeah, we could totally make a game out of this too. Like you shoot, I can get a gun, and then you shoot objects coming at you. Okay, wait. What did I want to do? Oh yeah, shooting while spawning. Okay, so right now the spawner is here, right? No, there it is. So the spawner is activated every 0.1 second. But what if we add touch? All right, so go here, spawner execute, and then on touch end, spawner execute. No, we want off. On touch end, spawner activation. All right, let's take a look at the spawner node, see what is available. Okay, so interval, we're going to turn this off just for now. Okay, maybe we just need on touch. Okay. So you can, we're doing it so when you touch, it happens, but I want it to just happen all the time. Maybe there's another touch node. We can do on button, but it's not the same. Watch. So go here, disable this, do on button, do icon none, touch area full screen. On down. Spawner. That's kind of cool. But the problem with this is we don't have movement control. We want to be able to spawn with being able to control the movement. Okay, so I was able to get the object to spawn in multiple X, Y, Z locations with an interval, which is similar to what I was having issues with, but was able to stumble my way across when it came to spawning clouds in the Super Meat Boy game. So I'm figuring out little by little how to do certain things. Oh, did I never save that? Okay. So I can do touch move. Let's turn this off. Let's get rid of this. Let's go back to here. I'm gonna do touch, on touch move, on our execute. So what that means is when I move, okay. I said this can still move. this so I'm able to move the cube, but if I want it to spawn, I can't just tap the screen. I have to tap it and move. So notice the finger. This just looks amazing though, like visually, and everything seems to be going a little bit to the left. That is peculiar, to say the least. Oh, and that's because of this vector transform. Okay, so here we need to, I'm gonna do random. We'll do -1 and +1 on start. Where is the vector transform? This is the move. Okay, so let's go 0, 0, 0, and okay, so the balls were constantly moving and now they're just building up. And I have to keep moving my finger on the screen because the spawning happens whenever there's movement. This is actually really cool. And then we have the transform. This isn't even on, but this was, what was this doing? Let's check it out. All right, well, whatever it's doing, it's not doing it now. Oh, it's the scale. We wanted to rotate, I think, maybe. Okay. Turn that off. Okay, so we got touch move. All right, let's see what touch X does, and we'll go into the vector transform in the object. The second one is rotate. So touch X move, vector transform, vector X. Let's see how it looks. Okay, for some reason it's spawning twice. And there it just looked like it. Oh, because maybe. There's balls everywhere. I'm gonna change this. So whenever I mess around with figures or numbers in HypeHype, sometimes I'll go big or I'll go small. So we're gonna see what changing the min and max value on the touch X does. Okay, so it just moves it super fast as opposed to moving it slower. Still not exactly sure how to get control of this cube, but I'm enjoying the fact that it's just shooting out balls. Oh, and then there's an angle. But the angle, the vector transform is set to rotate, so that is the angle. Oh, or maybe it's the touch screen and how I move the angles. Let's do vector Z. Because the touch Y is up and down, although I think. So it does look to be shooting out both, and I have. We can see you can see the fingerprint, I think, on the screen of where I'm shooting. Oh. do. And again, I have to. So if I hold down, it moved and then sometimes shoots out balls. But if I move, is that the touch move doing that? It is. So let me delete that. And that's okay. So this is causing it to move, but nothing is causing it to stop. And now it's just shooting out both ways. I don't know, I'm thinking make a game out of this, maybe make a gun, and then just start shooting objects. That would be fun. Yeah, let's get a gun. Sci-fi gun. Let's go with kind of like this one. Put this at x of 0. Oop, that's a scale. We don't want that. We want the movement. Set view. Okay. So this is going to be our main character. What did we have this do before? So let's go ahead. I don't want to delete it because I want to keep all the information here. But it's shooting up, so we don't even want that. No, we can do this actually. We can just something like that. I think we can take this gun and glue it to this object. Okay, this works. I think we want on touch start, activate the interval on, and then on touch end, interval activation off. I don't know if this is gonna work. It is not. Oh wait. So let's delete here, and we got the X, we got the Y. I mean, technically I don't want that. But this should also be at x of 0. Attach from parent also at x of 0. And let's go ahead and move this camera to x of 0. And we can glue this to here. We can even put this, oops, undo glue this here. What's going on? Oh, no physics. Unmovable object, physical, kinematic. There we go. And this will have an interval. Execute, okay. Oh, you know what it was? The gun has kinematic features, which means it has physics, but we only want the sensor to be on. So there we go. Now, I'll be right back. I gotta use the bathroom. And we're gonna keep making this game like a shooting game of sorts. Gonna have to figure out the XY movement for sure. How are we doing? It's cool. We have not had poor internet connection today. Okay, let's keep it going. The problem is this doesn't look cool. Oh, you know what? We can limit the rotation, and that should solve the problem. Okay, so everything is happening in this cube. This is the vector transform. This is the rotate. And the rotate is actually coming from the joystick. Where's the joystick at? And okay, max. So let's do. Let's see 0. Okay, so this we do want -1, and here we want, let's see, 0. Oh nope, I just put 1 again, which is not. All right, so not 0. 0.5. Oh, you know what? Oh, 0. Okay. The move magnitude up here needs to be altered as well, I believe. So let's just put these at -1, -1, and 1. And also, I kind of want the spawn. Where's the spawner? Spawner. Here we go. We want the shoot force. Let's make it 5. See how that looks. Oh, ooh, can I hit that skeleton finally? Okay. I'm gonna go back, removing this negative 0.25, 25. Okay. So notice how the balls are going through the skull. This is the common thing in game engines. If you have two objects and one object is moving so fast and you have another object, both objects have physics, maybe one dynamic, one kinematic, both dynamic in this scenario, both of them are dynamic. If one object is going too fast, instead of colliding with the other object and knocking it down, it will actually just go through the object, which is what we are seeing. Oh, never mind. A little bit, like, see, it's not colliding with these objects, or it's colliding with that one. Okay, so I thought they were going through, and okay, cool. So this is decent and not horrible, kind of sort of works. And I'll take that to the bank. Okay, so let's delete. Now let's get like a tile map. Tile set. And I do like the cyberpunk look and feel. I kind of do wish there was more. Let's just grab this one. We'll select. Delete. Let's go grab this, move it at x0. And let's start painting. I can change the color later. Oh, and I also want to limit the X left and right the gun can go, but I can do that later. First, we are drawing. Drawing the level. Basically, I'm just thinking like a shooting range. This is kind of making me think of what is it? In Star Trek, they got that room that you can go into, and it just has a bunch of the holodeck. Yeah, so it's kind of like a gun range holodeck. Let's take this column. Here's a 10. Okay, so that's 10. And then I kind of want to just duplicate and set this one to -10. See how that, okay, so this is looking good. And I'm gonna paint one more row. Do the same over here. Okay. I can probably take these objects. Okay, duplicate. All right, now let's get, we can keep this guy. And I kind of want to add some flames to this skull. So let's go into effects. I think there's a fire one. The juicy trail could work. Torch. Flamethrower or torch? I'm gonna go with torch. Let's grab him. And down here, particle effect. Torch. But here we go. Size. X. Visual size. Cool. Smoke visual size times 2. Okay, cool. There we go. That looks cool. Let's save this. Spawning test, select all. Holodeck shooting range, shooting. Practice. Save as draft. Okay, reset view. Oops. Let's go to these balls. So this ball is now has a white line going through it. I do not know why. I don't remember that being there before. Okay, it gets destroyed somehow. I'm gonna delete the wave generator and delete the transform. I think the vector transform causes the ball to move. Let's see if, okay, gotta shoot this dude in the face. Okay, let's the speed of the ball is too fast. I get that vibe. And we go here. First vector no, it's the spawner. The spawner has a shooting, yeah, shoot force. Let's do 2.5. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, much better. I do want the ball to have a rotation to it. So vector transform, rotate, duration set to 0, on start loop, vector transform. This should be fine. Oh. And on time loop here, vector transform. Yeah. On time execute the random variable, and this random variable will rotate the vector transform. Execute. So when the balls are shooting out, it shouldn't always be the same look. So it's, you see how the green is on top and the blue is on the bottom? That's what I'm trying to avoid. And it's not changing because the vector transform needs to go here. Vector X. Vector Y. Oops, nope, not that one. It's the bottom vector transform. Gotta select the right one. And so hopefully this will cause a... Okay. Again, it's not... Maybe 0.1. Sometimes you need to add a duration. I don't know. Nope. Let's mess with the X, Y, and Z. Nevertheless, after 10 seconds, these balls should get destroyed. We don't want them to just keep existing. That'll be bad. And I'll change the color. Let's get some run animation. And this object will be green. And now I'm going to get a basic object. And let's move this over here. X is 0. Now this object, I'm going to have it move back and forth, and it's going to spawn bad guys. But before it can spawn bad guys, it's got to move back and forth. And we were doing this at the beginning of this video. So let's see if we can get it to do it again. Wave generator. and transform. Super common, use it all the time. And this, you can notice the arrow direction. That's the way the object's going to transform and move to. So yeah, let's try -1, +1, transform amount. And I also want this to be red. Okay, so that looks good. We're gonna want the time to be something more like a 5-second. And end value, let's just add some more time to this as well. Okay, maybe not 5 seconds. Let's try 2 seconds. Generally, I find you want the duration in and out to be the same. And that's if you want like a pendulum to happen. Okay, and I think I'm gonna try 10. So here we can see it move all the way to the left 10, or to the right 10. Yeah, okay, so to the right 10. So negative is to the right, positive is to the left. Kind of confusing, but that's okay. Look at that dude is just running away. We'll have, okay, so now this is looking good. We need this to be in axis 0 to work properly. And from here, we're gonna have objects spawn. Yeah. I think I want to create reusable enemies. Let's go ahead, grab a container. I'm gonna make this a reusable. Let's put this bad guy in there. Okay. Okay, collision trigger. If collision with green, which is a bullet, destroy. Do a broadcaster because we want to have a score too. Oh wow, it's a bunch of stuff. I didn't add any of this. I'm just gonna add score. Okay. Collision trigger. Oh, and then we also want a particle effect. Ideally an explosion. I don't know if we have that. Okay, we do. Turn off executing. Always do that when adding a particle to your game. Okay, so here, collision trigger. No. If there's a collision trigger, particle effect, execute on. Broadcast, execute on. And then on collision end, destroy. This way, the particle effect and the broadcaster must activate, and then it gets destroyed. I'm gonna select this dude, hit, oh, and then we can add a vector transform. This will cause the dude to move on start loop Z of -1 maybe. Duration set to 0. Select this, hit duplicate, create new instance, and then we got this dude. And he's running the wrong way, so let's go +1. And that's way too fast. Okay, 0.25, but the collision trigger didn't notify to 0.05. Okay, there we go. 0.05 might be better. Oh, I can have a random generator have 0.05 to 0.25 was kind of too fast, but we can do this. And then on value link, vector transform, vector Z. And so now the rate at which the bad guy comes at you, there's a variable range. We still gotta learn how to figure out how to spawn him, but one step at a time. Oh, we can do a interval with the switch. This I think will work. And okay, interval and the switch, and then the switch. So the switch node I mentioned at the beginning of the stream. If you have been with me since the beginning of the stream, you're amazing. Don't forget to hit the like button. I always forget to mention that. I don't know why. Probably because I'm too focused on making games. But I mentioned that the switch node is something I've used multiple times, and the more I use it, the better I get at it. So go to edit, probability distribution, set everything to 1. Or if you want everything to have equal probability, then set them all to the same number. But actually right now, we're just only gonna have 1. And then every 1 second, activate the switch. And this switch I want the switch to spawn this dude. So interval. Should I have interval spawn switch or interval switch spawn? Don't know. I'm not sure if we can only have a specific amount of nodes in an object. There used to be a limit on it. Okay, so it looks like I can only have 1 spawn. Okay, so we're gonna set this outside. I think that is the way to go. Spawn. And I kind of want to put the arrow like that. Okay, so interval, which let's just do 0.1 second for now. Loop, which activated here, activate, execute, spawn, this spawn, object to spawn, is this dude. And yeah, let's give it a shot. It's not spawning. Oh, maybe we need spawn at here. There we go. Okay. Let's just have interval. Execute the spawner. Oh, you know what? With the spawner, we have the offset of X value. Okay, we need to add a stabilizer to this dude because it keeps falling over. I don't really know how the stabilizer works. Get rid of the wide dampening. Object shoot towards this dude. Add an interval here, maybe that can be okay. Spawner, execute spawn. All right, still trying to figure out spawning. Take a look. We have a gun that's spawning, or this cube is spawning. Oh, let's go in there. How is this working? I think the spawn is just happening automatically. I don't know what that, oh, the random is this. Which, we're not even using that, so, oh. So, Get rid of this random, and yep, okay, so it's gone. Should still work. Okay, cool. The camera is attached. X min, let's put -10. I think this will stop the character from moving all the way to the right. I don't know, but no, it won't. I thought it was going to, but it doesn't. Oh wait, limit x-axis. Okay. So it stops the camera, which is close, but not what we actually want. Oh, maybe it's here. No, that would be -10. Okay, so this object is spawning ball. Object to spawn. When this object object to spawn here, object to spawn at here, interval loop every 0.25 seconds. Ah, come on, dude. Don't be falling on the ground like that. Stabilizer. Okay, so we can get one guy, but we need multiple dudes. And we can spawn one enemy, then we can spawn two enemies, and so on and so forth. And Okay. Yeah, I'm missing something. For this cube, I have no problem spawning. And maybe it's because the dude is in a container. Let's try the object to spawn. Let's do this dude. Oh, you can't. Trying to spawn. This enemy. I was able to spawn bullets. I just can't seem to spawn the enemy dude. See what I can do with this skull. Let's try to just spawn another enemy. Object. I want the collision trigger. Another particle effect for the explosion. Broadcaster for the score. And a destroy. Vision group here. Broadcaster execute. Particle effect execute on collision destroy execute. I think we can't interval spawn this dude. When one thing doesn't work, I try something else, see if I can't get that to work. Loop 2.1 spawn execute. Nope, that doesn't spawn either. Where did I get the gun to work? Roll, spawner, execute. So let me take a screenshot. I feel like I'm missing something super obvious. And then the ball is a dynamic ball. I think this dude's kinematic. Okay, so maybe he needs to be unmovable. Okay, something happened. We got... Oh, crap. Oh no, I don't even know what I did. Okay, so let's undo. Okay, so we got the skull. It's physics. We want it to be unmovable, kinematic. That way it's facing up the whole time. Okay, so it's not. Where's the spawner at? Vector transform. I want Z of 0.25. I think that. No, now the gun isn't attached. Crap. This object has shared physics. Pneumatic. And this. Yeah, for broadcaster. on here. Okay. And then I think I need to move this head like there. Nope. Man, I'm so confused. Okay, I got one object to spawn, but that's a plus. But I believe it's only one. So let's do... spawning interval every 0.25 seconds, every 1 second, 0.5. Okay, so that's interesting. When I set it to a reference object, then it no longer... Go here at a random node, we'll do 0.15. 0.25. And I'm just trying to turn this on all the time. That's too much. Oh wait, minimum. Yeah, let's do 2.5, maximum 1. I think that's a good start. I kind of wish I would have been able to complete this, but again, I'm still learning spawning, and this is kind of the whole reason I made this video today. Play around, get some kind of a game going. But yeah, for some reason I can spawn the bullets no problem, but spawning the enemies in the way that I would like, it's gonna take practice. But yeah, until next time, let me know if you have any questions. And I think I learned a lot. Hopefully I'll remember most of it, and if not, I'll just keep at it. So until next time, I'm HypeHype. Stay safe out there, and peace.